Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Haley. I make videos about life with a chronic illness, multiple chronic illnesses. If you enjoy watching that type of content, hit that subscribe button down below and do not forget to like this video. And today I'm going to be sharing my second port surgery experience, and I'm going to be talking about the port issues itself, the surgery itself, and kind of the recovery. And I think I'll make a separate video of everything that happened to that hospital visit that was really frustrating. So in April of 2017, I got my first port placed. I had my central line taken out and this port put in its place right here. And the initial month or two after was a little rough just because my parents were getting used to me getting access. I was getting used to that feeling and I was dealing with a lot of swelling. So we did have a little issue in the beginning, but from what we heard that was considered fairly normal. So everything after the month after I got my port went swimmingly. My port was good. We didn't really have too many or really any issues. A month and a half before my second port surgery, we noticed my port was starting to tilt forward, which made it really hard to access easily. I would have to go in very odd positions and weird positions and try everything, and I mean, it wasn't my parents, it wasn't the needle or anything. It was actually tilting and it was really wiggly, more than it was. I didn't realize that until after the surgery though. So that was a little concerning, and we kind of had it in the back of our minds okay, if it gets worse, we're gonna get it checked out. And then the week before I had my surgery, before we knew what happened with my port, I was infusing, and the whole time I was infusing, I was in pain. And if you've had a port surgery, if you've had a central line in this whole area, you know exactly what it feels like after surgery, shooting pains down your arm, almost like achiness in your shoulder, pain in your shoulder. And for me, I was experiencing that type of pain, not as intense right after surgery obviously, but I was dealing with a bit of pain. I shrugged it off though, because I was I probably slept wrong, I've been a little stressed, so I just shrugged it off, didn't think of it. But my mom had it on her mind and she's like, I'm gonna call into the surgeon team at the hospital. You got your port placed because you did have the pain and it's been tilting. So the nurse who answered recommended for us to re-access on Wednesday morning, which Wednesdays are my normal infusion days, start infusing, and then if you start getting the pain, come right in and we'll check it out. And I got excited at first that I was infusing and it wasn't painful, but within 10 minutes I was experiencing that pain. And it wasn't as intense, but it was pain when I was infusing and only when I was infusing. So we went straight to the hospital, and I feel bad for my poor mom because my dad had surgery that day. So it was a really hectic, emotional day for us all. So we got there in the ER. We did x-ray with contrast, a port dye study. Did that. No problem with that. Then what else did we do? I think it was I did get admitted. I think it was the next morning though that, I forget what it's called, but I went down to interventional radiology, and they have that x-ray table, except you lay there. They have it right over you, but there's this huge screen so you can see it, which the medical nerd in me was really excited and fascinated to see an x-ray of my port, being able to see the whole line of port device. Anyways, sorry, getting sidetracked. So everything was normal. The radiologist did say there was a small kink that could maybe be causing the problem, but he didn't know. And so basically we didn't know why I was in pain when I was infusing. Obviously it was happening, and it was only when I was infusing. And whenever I flushed, it didn't hurt, which was odd. Long story short, we were headed the port surgery replacement path. At this point, I knew it was unavoidable, that it was surgery, something was going on that we couldn't see. So the surgeon team came in the night of my surgery, a few hours before I went down to the OR, to discuss surgically what was going to take place. They said that there are two options to choose from. They said either you can choose to fully replace the port, or you can have the risk of us trying to re-anchor, which means re-stitch your port to where it's supposed to be. They had a suspicion that my port stitches became undone, so it was moving and it was pinching nerves just enough, and when I was infusing at a constant rate, it constantly was like I don't know, I picture it like boing, like that's just how in my mind I picture it, even though I know scientifically that's not it. But that was their suspicion, but I would have the risk of going back into the OR the next day to have it completely replaced because they didn't know if it would work or not. And it was solely my choice. And my parents discussed it with me, but they didn't give me their opinion. They didn't give me what they were leaning towards. And I didn't think it would be such a hard decision between those two things. But it is, because it's like, if it works, that is great. I don't have to go back to the OR. But if it fails, I have to go back to the OR, deal with a lot more symptoms of the anesthesia because it's so close together. And it was just, it was kind of emotional to choose between, I'll be honest, but I ended up choosing re-anchoring it. And the reason why I chose that was because there's only so many spots in my body they can place a port. There are only realistically 4 spots. And this is a lifelong thing, so it's not something that's just gonna go away tomorrow. It's a lifelong thing. So I wanted to make the best decision, and the surgeon team also did too. They wanted to do the least invasive option first, so that's what I did, and I'm really glad I went with it. Once I was in surgery, the surgeon opened me up, and sure enough, the stitches did come undone. So I'm really glad I went with restitching it because it was the stitches, and she restitched it. She even did an extra stitch just in case, and now it is like in place. Oh my gosh, it has never been this still in my entire history with this port. So it's the same port, same site, same everything. Ouch! Why do I always forget it's tender? It should not hit my port. But that is pretty much what happened with the surgery. And after the surgery, I was all good. Port works, I don't get pain when I'm infusing, and I'm really happy about that. So I was able to go home. I also wanted to talk briefly about like the recovery pain in case you're getting a port for the first time and you're not like 100% like know what to expect. Everybody is completely different in their recovery. Some people have a really high pain tolerance like me, while others don't, and that is totally fine. Each person is completely different in what they can handle. So for me, I do have a higher pain tolerance, but the ibuprofen was not doing anything. It wasn't taking the edge off in the hospital. Keep in mind, I mean, they cut open and sewed my chest wall back up. It's a lot of pain, the muscles, everything. So even though it was less invasive, and yes, I'm recovering quicker, does not mean it's been an easy recovery. Because the first 3-4 days were really, really brutal, I'll be honest, because all I had was ibuprofen. I asked for extra pain meds in the hospital, like just something a little stronger like Toradol. So after that whole hospital experience, I was just over it, and I was like, okay, screw it. If I'm in pain, I'm in pain. Whatever. And like, yeah. Thankfully, my pediatrician, she saved me. I'm very grateful for her. But now ibuprofen is working. I am almost weaned off of it. I'm still in pain, but it's mainly controlled under ibuprofen now, which I am so glad. But honestly guys, though, it is not a big deal, and I don't want it to seem like I'm complaining, and I feel like I've just complained a lot about pain in the past couple of weeks, and that is not my intention. I do not really ever talk about being in pain, but that was really, really hard being in pain after surgery. So I'm going to give you guys an up-close look of my port. I might do a comparison picture of what my port looked like right after my first surgery in 2017, and then what it looks like now. So I might do it side by side, I don't know. before or after this clip. So this is it. So there's still some dry blood. This is the scar though. I'm surprised. I mean, you can kind of tell and I can feel like it was reopened, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. That is what my port looks like. So if you guys have stuck around this video, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about my second port surgery. If you have any questions, want any clarifications on anything, or if you want me to kind of do a video of the effects of anesthesia with my body and all of that, let me know in the comments. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. It means so much to me. Guys, you don't even know how much it means to me that you would watch my videos. But I will see you all in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.